How you doing, everybody? Thank you so much for being with me. I told you that there's probably going to be more banks to collapse. Let's talk about it.
Or where they went. They caught 78 known terrorists within the beginning of this year alone.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. My name is Will Johnson. My website is uniteamericafirst.com. We are talking about the banking system. There's another bank. Breaking news today. Another bank. The Republic Bank, First Republic Bank, $100 billion gone in deposits. $100 billion. Why is this happening? And the reason why this is happening is because it's by design. My personal opinion about all of this. It's by design. They want it to happen because if they can get this to happen, they can bring in this digital currency, which I'm going to go ahead and say it, which is going to lead to the mark of the beast. A lot of people were thinking that Kung Flu was going to be the mark of the beast, and it's not. It's not. Right? I mean, a lot of people still think that. But this, what they're doing with the digital currency, this is to force everybody to comply. And once they make it to where the dollar collapses, look what they're doing across the world. There's 19 different nations right now getting ready to join in with Russia and China and other nations by getting away from the U.S. petrodollar. Do you understand that? They're purposely going to collapse the United States of America, and Joe Biden and the Democrats are all complicit with it. They're all joining in the fun and games. Well, it's fun and games for them, but it's not for us because it's going to hurt all of us. Now, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I was sitting there talking to my producer about this before I came on here. You know, I need your support. I need people to support me as much as possible. I'm constantly asking for support. I need your support to continue. But then I'm sitting there talking about these issues with the banks. And a lot of people go, well, wait a minute. If there's banking issues, then I can't support you. Right? And I get it. But what is more important? Now, I can't function and I can't do any of this unless people support me. I'm just being straight up. If you don't support Will Johnson cannot bring you the information because I know a lot of you have busy lives. You are working. You have so much going on. Will Johnson does the research and try to bring it all to you. And if you don't support me, and sometimes just hitting the share button is enough. I'm telling you, if everybody, single person watching my videos would hit the share button, that would help. It would help, but I need you to go to my website as well, uniteamericafirst.com, and support me. But here I am talking about the banking system, right? And the banking system having an issue. $1 billion, $100 billion, not a billion, but $100 billion in deposits, just gone. And the question is Joe Biden going to bail them out like they did the bank in San Francisco? Probably not. I don't know. I'm guessing. Probably not going to. How many more banks is this going to happen to? And let me finish what I was saying a second ago. I'm talking about the banking, all this collapsing, and I need your support to continue going, right? But I would feel bad if I held back this information from you. You understand what I'm saying? It wouldn't be right for me not to tell you about the banking system having issues and just kind of leave it out in hopes that you will support me and I don't tell you about all of this crazy stuff happening. What kind of person would that make me? I refuse to be that type of person. And there's a lot of churches that do the same thing. There's churches right now that refuse to tell the people that attend the church the truth about what's happening in the world. So they tell people stuff, nice things on their ears. I can't do that. I have to tell you the truth. And I only want you to support me because I'm telling you the truth. Not because I'm trying to give you the feel good, tickle your ears. I can do that. My cat, my studio cat is right there. I can go play with my studio cat. Bring the studio cat in there. but that's not going to give you what you need. I only come on here to tell you the truth. Let me share this first video with you. This first one is about the banking system, and this is breaking news as of today about the First Republic Bank having this issue. Again, $100 billion in deposits just gone.
First Republic shares selling off today. You're looking at losses of just about 43%. They were halted several times for volatility. Shares plunging after the bank disclosed that clients pulled more than $100 billion in deposits in the first quarter in the heights of the banking crisis. And now the bank reportedly considering up to $100 billion in asset sales. This is according to Bloomberg. So here to weigh in on what happens next is David Smith, Growth Banks analyst at Autonomous Research. David, it's good to see you. So certainly the volatility that we're seeing and the sell-off that we're seeing in First Republic, reigniting some of those fears just about the stability of the banking sector. Do you think First Republic is at risk of failing?
Well, it is certainly a risk. Deposits came in for the quarter much worse than had been feared. With, as you mentioned, 100 billion or so of core client deposit outflows. Although deposits had stabilized somewhat in the early weeks of April, according to the company's release. Unfortunately, I think the picture being so much worse than expected.
You hear that? He said it's so much worse than we expected. Didn't he just say that? Is that what he just said? I told people 2 weeks ago, right after the first bank, I said, look, I don't know which bank it is or what other banks, but they're wanting this to happen. Y'all need to pay attention because this is going to come. It's going to cascade. And again, Joe Biden, the Democrats are all saying the economy is great. Everything is fine and dandy because this is the plan. Everything is working as planned. The Build Back Better. This is what it's all about. And I told people repeatedly what the Build Back Better is all about. And now you're starting to see it.
Might ignite fears that there could be another round of deposit outflows at First Republic, and depending on the severity, that could pose a risk for the ultimate future of the institution there.
Shauna mentioned the words asset sale. That is certainly an option. What else do they have in front of them? What are the other possibilities for First Republic?
Sure. I think one of the reasons why the stock has languished so much with First Republic over the last month and a half or so is that in this environment, there's not an easy solution to the plight the bank's finding itself in. In the higher rate environment, just the margin between the bank's assets and how they fund themselves is going to be continually squeezed downward as their funding costs ramp up. And at the same time, some merger math due to unrealized losses on the bank's loans and securities in this high rate environment means that there's a substantial uptick in what the capital a buyer would have to use to acquire First Republic, even beyond what it would pay for the bank's equity. So really between a rock and a hard place. And I think the sell-off, that's exacerbated today is just a realization that there frankly aren't any easy answers for the.
There aren't going to be any easy answers, right, is what they're saying.
Yeah, Will. And listen to this. This is another article about the bank. It said it was unclear until Monday how much First Bank Republic had lost from bleeding deposits.
Is this an article that we can put on the screen?
It is on the screen now.
Okay, let's put this on the screen.
This is via Daily Beast. It says the bombshell was delivered in a conference call with execs, spoke for just 12 minutes and took no questions. Traders took note Tuesday morning. The bank stock is now down about 90% from early March. Wow, that's a lot. Last month, 11 of Wall Street's biggest banks, including Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo, deposited a combined $30 billion lifeline into First Republic, and what they hoped would be seen as a vote of confidence for First Republic and the entire banking system. But it looks like it's not helping this bank. Like the guy said, there's very little hope for this bank now. Wow. So is Joe Biden going to bail him out?
You and I, we had a discussion earlier because they bailed out the bank in San Francisco because a lot of leftists, communists, even to my understanding,
China
had accounts in that bank in San Francisco. So are they going to bail out this bank as well?
I mean, that's a really good question.
So what happened? So you and I, the American people, we bailed out the bank in San Francisco. We did it. He didn't even ask us. He didn't even ask us, hey, you think we should bail out this bank? He just took our taxpayer dollars and just bailed them out. And then have y'all filed your taxes? How much you think you're getting back?
Yeah, that's an article today too.
Let's put that one on the screen.
This is from Epic Times. It says IRS pays $23 billion less in tax refunds for 2023 filing season, worrying Americans. So a lot of people, Joe Biden got up there and said, hey, listen, I'm not raising your taxes. But in a sense, he created or got rid of some tax cuts that gave people big money, just like the child tax credit. And so people are really feeling it. Back in January, the IRS suggested that refund amounts could be smaller this time around due to tax law changes, such as the elimination of the child tax credit. So while Biden's sitting there touting, hey, listen, I'm not going to raise your taxes, but in a sense, he's taking money out of the people's pockets. Listen to this. Americans concerned over smaller tax refunds pose a major issue for Americans, according to results of Bank Rate Survey published last month. When asked how important the tax refund is to their overall financial situation, 43% said that it is very important, while 32% said it was somewhat important. While 79% of women said the tax refund was crucial to their financial health, 71% of the men also held the same view. Now, this is all in light of Joe Biden saying that he is now running for president. So this is a big blow to a lot of people. So let's go ahead and talk about another story. This is out of Washington, D.C. Today, Washington's governor signs a big gun control package, including assault weapons ban. He said this: no one needs an AR-15. The mood at Washington State Capitol was jubilant Tuesday as Governor Ray Inslee signed a trio of gun control bills, one of which immediately bans the manufacture, purchase, or importation of so-called assault weapons. He celebrated out front, saying, "Party safely tonight." Inslee and Attorney General Bob Ferguson, both Democrats, pushed for the gun control package. He said no one needs an AR-15 to protect your family, but he said you only need it to kill other families. Now, a lot of pro-gun agencies really went after the governor and tried to protect the people's Second Amendment rights there in the state. In the bill, it said assault weapons are civilian versions of weapons created for the military and are designed to kill humans quickly and efficiently. Firearms instructor Jane Milhans told Fox News, there has been a lot of misinformation surrounding the gun control debate. People have the assumption that these rifles are military rifles, and they aren't. She said, adding that semi-automatic rifles require one trigger pull for every shot and would put members of the military at severe disadvantage if they were to actually use these weapons on the battlefield. And then we have Delaware County, which there a county judge temporarily blocks gun safety law that was passed in Columbus. injunction, which takes effect immediately, will stand until Judge Grumley dissolves it or until a challenge against the ordinance is resolved in court. In December of 2022, Columbus City Council passed an ordinance that would ban most people from owning a large capacity magazine. Those who remained in possession of a magazine that can hold 30 rounds or more after July, listen to this, could be sentenced to 180 days in jail without a work release. The ordinance would also penalize people who store their firearms where they know or should know that a child can access them. The judge granted a preliminary injunction on behalf of 6 residents who sued the city, saying the ordinance violates the Ohio Constitution, not to mention, Will, the United States Constitution.
But they don't care about that. I've been saying it multiple times that the left, the people in power, they don't care about the U.S. Constitution. I've said it so many times. And when I was telling people that some of the stuff that I see that they're going to do in the future, people would send me messages, say, Will, they can't do it. They can't do it. It goes against the Constitution. And I would repeatedly tell them, you mean to tell me that they care about the Constitution? You mean to tell me that they actually care? The people that are in control right now, the federal government, they actually care about the U.S. Constitution? And they go, it doesn't matter if they care about it. I think it does. When you have those that are in control and they don't care about the U.S. Constitution, I think it does matter. Let me give you an example of how they don't care about the U.S. Constitution. The First Amendment, let's just start with the first one, right? The first one, they want to get rid of the first one and, of course, the second one. Because the second one, they want to get rid of it so they can really destroy the first one. You've heard that multiple times. Look at this video with Shucky Ducky Schumer basically saying that they want to do away with the First Amendment. He's not going to say that, but he blatantly says that the federal government should be able to tell news organizations what they can and can't say, what they should be able to report on. He's actually going to say it. He said it's their obligation to tell them what they can report on. You can't make this stuff up. And if you haven't already, please hit the share button. Please hit the share button.
Look, Fox needs to reckon with the lies that it spread, and it may literally have to pay for the lies that it spread. But is it the role of government officials to demand that media organizations say things or tell media organizations what to put on their airwaves?
The simple answer to that should be no. It's not the business of the federal government to tell the press what they can share and what they should be able to talk about, what they can report on. The simple answer is no. But listen to Shucky Ducky Schumer as he's literally going to lie and say that it's an obligation for the federal government to tell news organizations what they can and can't talk about. He says it's an obligation. Listen.
Well, it's hardly the first time that people have said Channel 4 should have done this, the New York Times should have done that. That's not unusual. But what has happened here is, and John, very unusual. This is not simply telling them what to do. This is telling them, showing them that they have hurt our democracy, probably a way that no other actor, maybe with the exception of Donald Trump, who used them.
No, hold on. You see this? They're talking about, he has his nerves of talking about someone's hurting our democracy. He has his nerves. They won't even have a debate for the 2024. They won't even have a debate about it. And he's talking about hurting our democracy.
Has done. And so when it's that vital, I think we not only have a right to tell Rupert Murdoch and Fox what to do, but an obligation.
Do you hear this? He said not only a right, but an obligation to tell them what to do. The federal government should not be telling anybody. I don't care who you are. The federal government should not be telling anybody, any news network, any news organization, we the people, what we can and cannot say. Again, how people constantly send me these messages, Will, we have the Constitution. They can't do this. This dude is a leading member in the Senate. This dude right here. He's the leading member in the Senate, and he's literally part of the federal government, and he's telling everybody that, yo, we need to be able to block news organizations from saying what they want to say. He literally just sit there and said that. And then he has the nerve, the audacity to talk about everybody else lying as if the Communist News Network didn't lie and don't lie. They go on there every single day to see who can tell the best lie and who can be the most convincing at telling it.
And I hope people from one end of the country to the other will call up Fox and say, do what Leader Hakeem Jeffries and I asked for, which is stop the lies, say they were wrong, and report the news. You may have a different way of reporting the news than someone else, fine, but lying is not part of that different way and cannot be.
Wow.
So
I mean, come on.
I mean, we're talking about CNN. You know, there were several of them, including Schumer, Schiff, and other people that went to CNN, and I'm not going to talk about what they reported on that were total lies, but they never came out and apologized about lying about those things, right? But
Russia.
I mean, do you hear anything?
Russia.
It's like I hear something. It's this voice in my head.
Russia.
They constantly lied about it over and over.
Russia.
I'm trying to put my finger on it.
Russia.
What could it possibly be?
Russia.
I mean, my goodness, come on. And they have the nerve, the audacity to sit there and say that somebody else is lying, another news network is lying. Now, we know what they did we know what Fox News did. We know what they did. We know what they just did to Tucker. We know what they just did. I don't think anybody is happy with it. Leave me a comment right now. Leave me a comment. Are you happy that Fox News is the way they are? And a lot of people thinking that Fox News was for the American people. This is the question. This is the question I want you to answer. Do you think Fox News is for the American people? Yes or no? Just put yes or no in the comments. Do you think Fox News is for the American people? I want to know. I'm going to take a little time here and I'm going to look at the comments while we're going here because I want to know. I just want to type yes or no. Is Fox News for the American people? Because I don't have to ask you about the Communist News Network, CNN, or MSSTD, or ABC, CBS, the other entire Alphabet Network soup group, because we already know. They've been lying to us
Russia.
For the longest. So I'm asking you about Fox News because a lot of us thought that Fox News was on our side. I was done with Fox News after 2020. I was done with them. I even publicly said that I was done with them. Now, I'll share stuff that they put out there because there's still some good people at Fox News, but look, Tucker was the only reason why I watched them. And now that Tucker's gone, if anything, I'll share a clip. Just like I don't watch the Communist News Network, CNN, but I'll share a clip with you. Right? Just like I'm going to share clips with you from Fox News because some of them make good points on there. And I'll show CNN because they're blatantly lying. Like I just showed Chucky, Shucky, Ducky Schumer because he won't go on Fox News, but maybe he will now. Maybe he'll go on Fox News now. Maybe they'll have more communist Democrats to show up on Fox News. What do you think? Joe Biden threw his name in the hat. As if we didn't know he was going to do that. But he finally went ahead and did it after the whole scandal about the classified documents popping up. People forgot about it. The left, they all forgot about it. Oh, what documents? What are you talking about? Those old documents? No one cares about those documents. Oh, Trump documents is a different story. But we don't care about Biden having highly classified documents. So now that it's all been like water under the bridge for them and they're like moving on. So now Joe Biden put his name in the hat, said he's running for 2024. Really? He's running for 2024. So the Democrats, the Democrat National Convention, said that they're not going to have any debates. Why not? Why aren't they? No debates. They're saying no debates. Isn't that bizarre to you? Shannon, is that not bizarre to you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So what happened? What happened to having a democracy? Because what democracy is all about is that you have people, one person here, and you listen to them. And you get to decide which one you want to represent you. That's how democracy plays. Our country is a constitutional republic, but we utilize democracy. Oh, I like this person, what he's saying. I like this person, what he's saying. Or she, he, she, right? This person. We get to decide. But they're wanting to do away with that. The DNC said no debates. So what about Kennedy? He threw his name in the hat. Shouldn't there be a lawsuit about that? right? What happened to democracy? They keep saying it. What were you going to say, Shannon?
I mean, that's right. I mean, the Democrats are ripping the DNC for not scheduling any primary debates. They're saying that it robs the voters of an opportunity to hear other ideas, thoughts, and ways to fix our economy. And it's on purpose, though, Will. We know
100% on purpose.
that they're protecting Biden. Yep. We know that there's a lot of challenges that they could bring before him, and he's not going to know how to answer them. He's not going to have there's no way.
Why do you think they don't want him to go on stage? Because they know that he'll put his foot in his mouth and he won't have anything to say. He'll probably say something like,
I got hairy legs.
Right. So they'll be like, oh my goodness. Right. He'll probably say something like that.
I got hairy legs.
And then once he say that, everybody go, what?
Well, I'm just going to put this out there, but you remember in one debate where he was asked, or Trump exposed the laptop idea.
Oh, yes.
And Biden completely lied.
Oh, yes.
On stage. It's well known now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so, I mean, you know what? I can't stand these debates anyways, because everybody lies. Every time Biden gets in front of the mic, he says the same things over and over and over. And it's completely contrary to what everybody's experiencing in the world. Even people on the left side, we're seeing over and over his ratings are just terrible over the entire couple of years by his base.
There's the left. They don't even want Joe Biden. The left is tired of Joe Biden, and Joe Biden's putting his name in there. I guess Gruesome Newsom, this means Gruesome Newsom is not going to run, because he said that if Joe Biden puts his name in there, he's not going to run. Well, let me share with you from the liberal media what they're saying and talking about Joe Biden's approval ratings amongst the liberal left. Go ahead and do a split screen for me. This is the liberal media talking about Joe Biden. And now think about it. This is the same liberal media that has been protecting the Biden crime family. Joe Biden.
The numbers are beyond sobering for President Biden.
We're seeing his leadership underwater on a range of issues around the economy, inflation, crime, far more than that even.
Only a quarter, 26%, said they think he should run for re-election.
40% say they are worse off financially than they were 2 years ago. The most negative response to that question in nearly 40 years of our polling.
Just a third of Americans in this poll, John, say yes, Joe Biden deserves to be reelected.
53% of 2020 Biden voters say he shouldn't run.
Less than a third of Democratic voters want to see him renominated.
And 76% of voters under 35 think he shouldn't run.
The economy, 37% approval. Immigration, 35%.
The 58% of Americans who disapprove of how he is handling the economy right now.
When 74% of Americans think the country's heading the wrong way, it's hard for the boss to say, give me 4 more years.
Just 30% of independents approve of the job Biden is doing overall.
I mean, wow. And that's from his base. That's from the ones that's been protecting him all of this time. They've been protecting him. They've been protecting Joe Biden. And here it is, Joe Biden being protected. And now they're all saying that, no one really wants Joe. But because of the way they are, Joe Biden putting it out there, they're all going to start saying he's done a wonderful job. He's done a great job. Forget about the banks collapsing in the country, but he's done a great job. Forget about that we have an open border. He's done a great job. Forget that we have fentanyl coming across the border and people are dying left and right because of fentanyl. He's done a great job. You even have Karine Jean-Pierre right now talking about the fentanyl coming across the border is the result of Republicans. Y'all heard that correctly. Karine Jean-Pierre literally said that the Republicans want to defund the Border Patrol agents and they want to have more fentanyl on the streets of America. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, just blatant lies. Blatant lies. Do y'all believe me that she said that? Y'all believe me that she said that? Let me go look at the comments real quick. Uh-oh. I'm looking at Facebook right now for the comments. Facebook won't let me go back and Shannon, you can see the comments better than I can, right? Because it won't let me see the comments here on my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It won't let me see the comments. So let me jump over on Rumble. Let me jump on Rumble. Let me see. Okay. All right. Okay. Yep. Okay. Awesome. I can see the comments on Rumble. Okay. So
they're making fun of Joe.
They're making fun of Joe.
Put him in a nursing home.
No, Joe.
I don't know.
I mean, so I don't, you know what? I don't have that clip in the queue here. The one with Karine Jean-Pierre. At least let me make sure.
Which one?
It's the one where she's saying that the Republicans are wanting to, is that it? No, that's not it. It's the one where she's saying that the Republicans are wanting to defund the Border Patrol agent and put fentanyl on the streets of America.
Well, you can just talk about it. I mean, pretty much just sum up the whole video.
Yeah, pretty much, right.
I mean, but that's the insanity of the left. They get up there and basically what's happening is they say they want to defund the Border Patrol. And I haven't read the whole thing about what the debt limit object, or how to fix it that the Republicans proposed.
Actually, I have it right there on the front screen, right there in front of you.
Oh, okay.
If you can copy that over for me and then put it on that timeline. So copy that over for me. Yep. And then where'd it go?
I got it right here.
It's that one there, right? Yeah. So put that on the timeline because I want people to see this, that she's actually sit there saying that it's the Republicans that want to defund the Border Patrol agents and put fentanyl on the streets of America. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, people. She actually says this. So do you have it?
Hold on.
Okay. She actually says this. It is absolutely remarkable that she said this. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yep. My switchboard operator is helping out here. He sets all this up beforehand, which is pretty cool. Yep, we're going to put it on there. I want to show y'all this because this is a lot of people are like, no, come on, she didn't say that. It's like that's too blatant, right? That's like too much. Just like, no, that's like taking it too far. The Republicans wanting to defund the Border Patrol and put fentanyl on the streets of America. Okay, let's go ahead and do it now. Let's bring it up here. Go ahead and bring it up. This goes full screen and play it. Watch.
Millions. It's clear that the Speaker's bill breaks House Republicans' commitment to America. In the run-up to the 2022 election, House Republicans promised to put cops on the beat. Instead, they're fighting to put fentanyl on the street by defunding Border Patrol.
What? I mean, come on, people. Come on. The blatant lies.
To the 2022 election, House Republicans promised to put cops on the beat. Instead, they're fighting to put fentanyl on the street by defunding Border Patrol.
See, she can't even say it right because she knows she's lying. And someone wrote it down for her because she's sitting there reading it. She's not looking at everyone and saying it like I'm looking at you. She's actually looking down, reading it. The Republicans want to defund the Border Patrol and put fentanyl on the streets of America. Literally lying.
Their proposal makes clear that only things House Republicans are committed to giving to Americans are increased crime.
What? What? This has to be satire. Is this done by AI? I mean, how does she explain this? This has to be done by AI, right? I mean, come on. Now it's the Republicans wanting to defund Border Patrol and put fentanyl on the streets, and it's the Republicans that want more crime throughout the country. It just said that. This has to be AI. Is this AI?
Patrol. Their proposal makes clear that only things House Republicans are committed to giving to Americans are increased crime, lower economic growth, and more manufacturing jobs sent back to China. The Speaker's position is that unless the President and the Senate agree to that job-killing, cost-increasing, anti-farm, anti-healthcare, anti-education agenda, they're going...
What? That has, I mean, come on. Is it blatant lies? Is it everyone with me on that? I mean, yes, people are saying, oh my gosh, she's lying. James said that from Tennessee. James saying that on there. Denise said, oh my God, these are Rumble right now I'm looking at. Sandy says, okay, well, I can't say that one because we're still on Facebook. James says it's artificial, but it's not intelligent. Oh, James, you win. You win.
Well, you know what? I like how she talks about.
Dude, that's beautiful. I love that one. I love it.
You know, it was just a few days ago that it broke that Biden would veto legislation to block solar tariff waivers over China. So the House passed this. The Senate passed this saying, listen, we're no longer going to let China sidestep our tariffs and take solar panel and parts around, go around the country or take a different route to avoid the tariffs. And Biden said, oh, no, I'm going to veto that. What?
Yeah.
So they're breaking.
So she's lying and she's lying and she's lying and she's lying. John on Facebook says she's lying. Nick says she's lying. Patricia says she's lying. Boom Tika Boom, I think that's how you say it, says she's lying. Yolanda says she's lying. These are on Facebook. These are ones that are allowing me to see her here on Facebook. They're straight up lying. Straight up lying. I mean, come on. And we're live on YouTube too, right now. Correct? I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to look at the...
Yeah, it says YouTube is breaking up, someone said.
Really?
I don't know. You might want to refresh. I don't know. It looks fine to me.
Yeah. Look like MCFFY says she would just blink and shudder more. Okay, she's snorting much coke. She probably is, probably in one of those kinky parties. It's just on YouTube. It's messing up.
It's audio.